Hey, I am in London. And I did not plan initially to do a lot of filming. I didn't bring my camera. I just have my iPhone. But it's such a nice hotel here. My boys are out and decided to do a little video for you, and maybe we'll show you some other parts of our trip. So we traveled to London here for the end of Ramadan. It's like the Eid holidays and everybody's mostly off work in the UAE, and we have done like all types of staycations, and we've traveled all the like places surrounding Abu Dhabi and Dubai, like in all the Emirates, and we did Oman so many times. So I think it was such a good idea to come here to London. And yeah, we were catching up a lot with some friends that we lost through the years, and you know, sometimes like some people that you know for such a long time, or not even such a long time, but they become part of your family. And I feel like our families are so much smaller these days, and sometimes, you know, you don't have such a good relationship with your like birth parents, or you do, but they are far away and you can't spend enough time with them. So the friends would definitely become part of your family. And this is the second hotel we are staying in, or actually a third one. So I was able to use a lot of my points that I earned for a few years with Amex, but this one is not an Amex. This one is like extra. I did some shopping today. I did a review of one of the brands, and I can see there is a package here. I guess it's some shopping for my kids, and I'm gonna open it for you. I had like the weirdest day today because I usually when I'm in London, you know, like I wake up really early and I go out and I do like a photo shooting, and then I go and I do like my work stuff. But today was my youngest son's birthday. George has turned 3, so we have some balloons. I'm gonna go and show you what we have in the room. And we checked in last night. We spent one night in Newcastle, where we were looking at one of our projects that we are invested in. And yeah, here are the balloons. They're out and about. They went to the zoo today, but this morning we spent a very beautiful morning in the pool area. So they have a nice pool and a spa center. Not a spa, but it's just like a steam room and sauna, which I miss so much, because in Abu Dhabi, like all the health clubs, they don't have yet. They like steam rooms and saunas not open. Only like if you go for the specific treatment you can get it. And yeah, I did not bring too much stuff with me, but I ended up with a few purchases still, and I didn't bring enough things for the kids. Actually, I brought like all of their clothes that was suitable for the UK weather. I just didn't bring the shorts. But and first few days were really cold, so I actually had to go and top up. And yeah, people ask me if I prefer to stay in the Airbnb or I do hotels. I actually do prefer hotels because they are much easier usually with the laundry, and I usually do quite a lot of laundry. Quite excited to open up this one. It's one of the brands that is supporting Ukraine, and I think it's gonna be the merch for the really cool like writings. Let me open it for you. Really excited. I ordered these a week ago, and they should be printed tops. So one of them is for my 5-year-old. It says, it's black and it says Ukraine. It has like 2 dots of the color. For my younger son, we have this one. It's actually for the last 2 days. I'm not gonna do laundry because we're gonna have these. I picked the gray one for him. I don't like to always like dress them in the same clothes. I like them to be like friendly, like styled, but not like the same. And they're slightly different in terms of colors. It's quite a good quality, and I think these they actually run a little large. And these two are the cutest because the print is where tractor is pulling a war tank. It was actually like a story of how farmers were, you know, helping Ukraine win, and I got them in these. I got actually the same, so 5 and 6, and for the little one as well. That's so cool. Yeah, but the images are slightly different, so this one is much smaller than this one. I don't know. I hope they like it and they're not gonna mind it. And I wanted to tell you another very funny story of what just happened with me on this trip. Yeah, I'm quite efficient usually with my shopping. I think I told you a story about like how I did my wedding dress shopping in 20 minutes or so, because I just did a lot of like research, preparation, and I did try things before. So I usually am like that. I do like a lot of research, and then I make all of my decisions and all of my, you know, actions in a moment. So I traveled here with my Hermes Kelly that is a vintage, and I had it for around 5 years, more than I have my son. I got it when I was pregnant, and I was wearing it, like maybe I was wearing it a little bit too much for the past year, and I took it here. It actually is not a bad bag to travel with. It fits quite a lot, but I felt like I still wanted to change, and then I suddenly was researching like what else could I add to my wardrobe to maybe add a little bit of color, because I do tend to have all of my handbags in black. So 2 days ago or 3-4 days ago when we just arrived, I went to Selfridges and I did take a look at a lot of the things from a lot of the bags. The brands that I looked at were like Yves Saint Laurent, Loewe and Celine. I was really so much into one of the Celine bags, but it also was black. So in a sense, when I tried it on with my outfit, I could feel like, oh wow, it's also like patented leather. It has like enough gold accessories. So it actually like makes an outfit like stand out a lot. And I thought, oh, maybe it is a time for me to move from the like vintage like Hermes to something a bit more modern. And then I left it there, but I always take pictures, and then I looked again at the picture and I realized that the logo on the bag is slightly large to my liking. So I might still go for that one, but I'll go for the like more classy and more plain one with a black like strap and a slightly smaller logo. I like that it's rounded, so it's kind of feminine in a way that Chanel does, but I tend not to like Chanel bags because they seem too overly feminine to my liking. And I think in terms of my you know, like style blog, I think these like medium well priced bags are gonna be working best for the outfits that I wear, because a lot of people like actually choose to go with them, and not everybody these days like invest like lots of money into like other Hermes items. But so my Hermes bag actually went, I think it will go on a consignment, or I can post it here. So I think I'm gonna I wanted to swap it to a newer type of like Hermes Kelly in size 25. I think I wanted a smaller size. I could still consider a 28. So actually today I was looking at the vintage shop. There was a similar bag that I liked, but for some reason I also want to actually try to have a different style of the bag. So maybe I'll actually go with the Birkin. I have found a bag that I really like, and I like tried it like virtually so many times with all of my outfits. Here in London I was browsing a couple of vintage stores and there was nothing. There was one bag in the same color that I was into, and I understand that it is the color that I'm actually looking for, so I'm not gonna tell you anymore. So So if you watch my next vlog, you'll be able to see what happened, and if I were able to get that item. Maybe I won't even go for the Birkin actually. I also considered having an Evelyn bag for the traveling here and there, but I wanted that particular color because it's just so gorgeous. It's a shade of blue. It's the blue jean because I think it's just most perfect color for me. It goes really nicely with the neutrals, with the blacks, and with the whites. So it's on this like medium range. And here is something that I picked up for this trip. So yay! This is a Loewe. I also did pick up a pair of the HERMES loafers because I came with my Tod's loafers, which are navy, and I did try to style them with the outfits that I had here, and it didn't work for the surroundings that we have here in terms of like the lighting. I think I'm just gonna move up towards the side so we have a little bit more lighting. And let's unpack this. So you'll be able to see what I bought. It was very efficient. We can actually start with the jeans and a shirt. Yeah, so I also did an Arcade review, and I picked up the straight cropped jeans. I think I need to send you a photo of these. I really like them because the color is like medium blue, and I didn't have this kind of color in my wardrobe. So the previous jeans that I had, they were either like really dark or really light colors, and I had the ecru. So because now I have black shoes, and I have a couple of more like black bags, I was looking for some like deeper and richer color, and I also wanted like very stiff to hold the shape really well. So this is gonna be my styling jean, and it's straight, so the cut is slightly different, and I'm still like not going for the very expensive one. But in this trip I actually got a pair of premium jeans by a Gold, so you're gonna see them later, I guess, on my Instagram or in my haul. And I just also picked up this shirt by Arcade. It looks a little bit like the Pope shirt, or I don't know how to call it. I think it's called the Granddad collar or the Bishop's collar. I think I might be wrong, but I really liked the way it's cut, and it looks so sophisticated. It just needed a little pressing or steaming. Very beautifully done, and although it's slightly like like masculine here in the front, and it looks a little bit like too formal, but the sleeve is dropped on the shoulder, so it makes it a little bit more like voluminous and feminine. And I actually quite like this shirt that I have here. I ended up wearing it quite a lot for the trip. So practical white shirt is always good for business, good for the trip. So yeah, we'll start with this one. So the story is that yes, I did take a lot of pictures, and now my brain works in a way that I need to ask other people's advice on what looks good on me. I think it just helps me to process information in a more like structured way. So that is why I asked my assistant stylist like what was she thinking. Like, yeah, I know these bags were on a market for such a long time. It's just probably because I was not at the stage where I exactly needed one. I actually tried them, and I considered having one of these for myself in 2019, 2020, so it's been a couple of years. I didn't go for it, I guess, because my needs were different. I needed a really big bag to hold all of my baby stuff, and now I really want to have something that is easy to travel with and kind of like work and kind of formal. And initially I wanted to replicate my like wish list of a Kelly in a Loewe bag. So because the leather here is also like very beautiful, it's very nicely textured, so so it is a Togo leather essentially, and I wanted to have it in a black color with the white hardware, but then when I was actually in Harrods this morning, they didn't happen to have this combination. Then I realized that I was only looking for the black bag to go with like all of my London outfits, so I might actually be lucky and maybe my wish list comes through at the HERMES, and I'll get my dream bag of Kelly 25 in a black texture leather with the white hardware. But until that happens, I'm gonna be mostly in Abu Dhabi, and even if I come to London, I think I could use a tan bag. It's my actual first handbag was a tan color, and it like everybody complimented me on it, and I loved it because I wore it with the blacks and with the whites, and it always like looked gorgeous. So yeah, I actually just carried and I put all of my stuff from my Kelly to here, and I left my Kelly on consignment. So I think it's very efficient that I went out with one bag, carrying one bag, and I bought two, but I've reduced one, so I'm just like +1 and it's not as big, so it's gonna be the second one. So I'm really happy to travel with this one, so it actually fits so much, and I really like you know, the handle is bigger than the Kelly handle, and it is much more body friendly. I think I got this idea now that I don't want things that are a bit like stiff, so sometimes, you know, you need a hug, so like a nice bag you can actually hug it. And it also has the strap, and I felt like in a moment I spoke to the lady who was selling it to me. Oh my god, she was like such a wonderful lady. She was an Italian who worked all her life as a DJ, and then since COVID there was like she had less opportunities to work as a DJ, so she started to work some part-time hours in the retail. We had such a nice conversation, and she said, yeah, she gave me all the tips about like how to fold it, and I said, like, you know, like I feel finally at my 32 now that I finally am like sophisticated enough to wear Loewe, because I had appreciation for the brand since I was like much younger, but I felt when you were younger it is slightly like over your budget initially. So for the basic, you know, Louis Vuitton or like Chloe, you can go with a smaller budget when you're younger, but and there are other brands that I already tried like were Yves Saint Laurent. So I think the easier way for me to think about it, like, okay, I had this brand in the past, I kind of tried it out, I think it's fine, it's moving forwards. So at the moment I considered just this two, like Loewe and Celine, and I think I'm really happy with the choice, but I'll let you know how I wear, how it works for me. I guess in Abu Dhabi I'll be even more happy because the color will look even more bright. The only problem I had so far is that it's not perfectly nicely combined with the jacket that I have. I think it's just a little bit, it doesn't do like perfectly together. So you might say that I'm a little bit too picky, but I think the perfect for this would be like navy, although I said like I don't want to wear any more navy. Maybe like a shade of like deeper, like lighter green trench coat, something like this. Anyway, so it does fit a lot, and I even managed to put my jewelry pouch, so I'm gonna travel back carrying this in my Prada wallet that I usually use. I didn't actually use it just for my ID, and I got my new Tangle teaser the other day because my old one was really in bad condition, and I'm really happy I replaced it. This one has the closure, so it looks really tidy, and my even like this, what I usually need for work, and I have a couple of other things like receipts, and I have some beauty products because I needed to, you know, to touch up my makeup. The only thing that I really wanted, I wanted my everyday bag to be able to hold like a little notebook that I use for planning, because it became kind of essential for me to have that, and I think it should fit it should fit. I'm really confident. Or you should be looking for the one that kind of like a soft leather and it folds like one of the Hermes ones. So far so good, but it's just been one short travel, and honestly I felt like this changes was like really nice and refreshing for me. The second bag that I ventured to get is this beautiful little straw tote, and I think it's also just so perfect. So these were out just like this season, maybe a season ago, and I think I told you I do my research sometimes on a blogger, so I check like if the blogger has a similar like style and proportion to me. And this bag, Julie Sarinara on Instagram, she was one of the very few like top bloggers that were like out and about for years now, and I think I bought like similar bag like she had a couple of times, and both times it worked really well for me. So she lives also like in a really sunny and warm climate, and I thought that it would be such a good one. Previously I did consider a few times to get this like market tote bag, but it was just a little bit too rounded. It didn't work for me for some reason, and I think this one is gonna work. And it's just you know, when you try it on, it's yeah, it's so much better like when you're able to try things on. I like that the handle is like thin, and in general like you could say that it just suits me, and I think for styling it's just going to be such a wonderful bag. And it was just 400, maybe a bit more expensive that you would pay for the normal straw bag, but yeah, it was on my wish list. It was on my like, actual plan of purchases, so I don't feel like super guilty about it, and they should be holding value pretty well. So yeah, I think that's everything that I got here on my trip. Yeah, let's see what else will go into this vlog. Do you like my makeup? And I started my morning very slowly. I decided to go for a quick gym session. Then, as you can see, I'm still in a bathrobe because I really like using the steam room and sauna. It's something that we don't have in the UAE, and I missed it. And yeah, the location is just wonderful, and I'll try to enjoy the last moments being here in London. Breakfast was just amazing as well. I had like salmon bagel with some capers, with some vegetables, and good like American coffee. That's why I really like these hotels that you know, have like really good quality breakfasts, so that you don't have to like spend any time extra to go around and search for food. Yeah, even the pastries were like so good. I think they were like very Parisian, baked in Paris. Like that's the things that I slightly miss in UAE, but sometimes you can get it like in a Dubai in one of the like the best hotels. So yeah, I have to do the the packing, sorry, not the shopping. I have to do the packing now, and yeah, and say bye-bye to the London. They also had a really cool gym here, and I tried like to do this hiking with a screen, and it was somewhere like in Argentina. And then there was another like wall to do like this. I think it's called a techno gym. I never tried it before. We don't have it in our like gyms in the UAE, and you can do the game or you can do the training. So I tried to do some skiing, so it was really cool. But I think I gained some weight, so my face looks very puffy. Maybe it's just the water retention. I think I might go back to the room and show you like my travel like makeup products and you know, skincare products, because I think I have a really good selection now. And as promised, I wanted to show you some of my beauty products that I take with me traveling for this trip, especially. I did not try any of the Fenty products before, but I bought a set because I thought I saw it in Sephora and it looked like really small, and it had a total cleanser cream and this product that I really wanted to try. It's called Fat Water, and I thought it would be such a nice combination to take with me traveling, because initially I wanted to just like get another of the Clinique travel sets that I usually do. I did try before using the you know, like small packages that you just like use and put your own products, but for some reason it didn't really work for me, because like the formulation for the cleanser is always different. Some of my cleansers are oil based, so it doesn't work with that bottle. So I figured I will also try this. So I really like these products. So this is just like for removing makeup and everything, and it's so gentle and so easy to use. This product is really awesome as well. It's just like refreshing water, so I would just you know, put a little bit on my face. I just had a shower, and then I would use a cream for the daytime. It's this one with the SPF, and I got another one that I use when I have you know, some problematic areas. Downward shock. So this one is a CeraVe lotion, and it's supposed to, you know, renew, like restore your like balance if you're a bit sensitive, if you have some areas that you know, like allergic, or like where you had post acne, and if you put like too much, you know, acid or too much retinol, I think it just helps. So I'll put a little bit of that one, and now I'm gonna put the Hydrovisor Invisible Moisturizer. It also has the SPF, but it doesn't, I think it's the chemical SPF, so it doesn't make me look weird, and that I like, maybe because it has a little bit of pink pigment. So even if you don't put anything on top, you should be fine. The lighting here is a little bit yellow. Then if I'm just doing like slide photography or like everyday makeup, I would just use, where is it? My favorite like BB cream product is the Loewe, yeah, tinted moisturizer, and it goes much better if you use it with a primer, because with a primer sometimes it like just falls really quickly, and it doesn't go as nicely on the skin. So I would really recommend you to use the primer. It might seem like it's a necessary item in your makeup pouch, but trust me, like I tried it so many years without it, and with it I prefer it even more, so I can justify a little bit of space in my beauty case for the primer. So we did that. Then I'm gonna use tinted moisturizer, or before that I'll just cover up some like areas that look a little bit dark. And recently I bought this product from basically a drugstore product. It is a Maybelline, but a lot of people are recommending it, and I went for a color medium. So I just put some under eye and some of like my like pimple areas that I squeezed, and I had a little scarring here. I'm trying not to use it. By the way, like for acne, I think the best is just, you know, to do the hormonal therapy. So I started to take the spironolactone. I think it helps me a lot. And then I also use different topically, so I think it helps me, especially on my chin area, because it was like always like so clogged. Now I can see like real improvement. So yeah, I'll just put a little bit, and then we'll go back to it again when we're gonna be finishing it up. Yeah, so this, I like it because it's light, and I go for the tone that it looks like maybe it's a bit darker than my tone, but it blends in beautifully. And I have the tone called Tony, and I had the same one for many years, and I really like it. They changed the formulation a few times, so like both oil-free and normal work fine for me, but I feel like, you know, if this brand understands your coloring, you'll go for it. Maybe in future I'll try also the Charlotte Tilbury like lighter makeup products. So we did that. After your hand's gonna be a little bit dirty, so you'll have to wash it, but before that I'll put a little bit more of the coverage product. So this is the Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'll just put some in the areas that I want to highlight. Really lovely product. You also can use it with your fingers, or you can just like blend it. It gives you like this glamorous glow. Because I think for me, like when a product is not moist enough, like makeup product, it just makes everything very cakey. So I prefer to have more moisture and more like, not like oiliness, but more dewiness in the products, and they make everything better. And then I also use, like if I need full coverage, I would use this. Probably I will not use full coverage today, but just I'll put it in some strategic places, just like on the small dots, and then I'll use the brush to blend it. I have a birthmark here on my forehead, and just like acne scarring. It'd be nice to have like a mirror with the big lines in to use every day for your everyday makeup. I didn't put any blush, but I feel like my face is slightly red because I just had a sauna. Yeah, so that's that. Next, if you do contouring or if you use the bronzer, I'm using my Smashbox palette for contouring. I use the same one. I didn't know this came off. I used one of the tones to use a shade on my eyelid. So just a really small contouring. The clock says 10 minutes. Then I'll use the little brush and I'll put a little shade on my eyelid. Then we'll have to decide if I do wet blush or dry blush. I travel with both. Like if I go for a very small trip, I wouldn't take the liquid blush. I would just take dry blush that I have by Clarins. Like I think for girls with like dark complexion, if you don't have like color in your eyes, blush is very important because it kind of like gives you this little color and everything just, you know, looks so much better. But just make sure you don't overdose it too much. And another product that I really liked using for also like brightening it in your eyes, I think for the brown eyes look works really well. And this glitter pot, it's called maybe it's called the Glitter Pot by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'll just use with my finger and I put a little bit on my eyelids. So think like shiny, lightweight, transparent, but with like a bit heavier coverage, especially like if you do like photos on the day. So yeah, you see, this makes me look much more normal now. And for the eyebrows, I'll just use a transparent gel today because I'm gonna be doing some like more neutral outfits. And this is the gel. I'll just brush my eyebrows up, and then I'll just put on some mascara, and that's gonna be it. Also, like if you put the product that under your eye and it's a bit creamy, it might like go into like these lines, so you want to buffer your under eye area. I didn't find the finishing like powder that is easy to take traveling, so I'm just using the old powder that I have on this brush, and I got it at H&M, so it was a pretty good one. So that's it, I guess. I'll just later put on some lip product like HERMES Color Balm or Charlotte Tilbury lip gloss. So that's gonna be it.